All right, so in this video, we are going to be doing an overview of the workflow and automation section within the CRM. All right, guys, and just a heads up for this video, when I recorded the video, some of the screen is cut off on the right side. All right, so you will be seeing me going through an overview of the automations and workflows and how to actually use it within GoHighLevel. This isn't an in-depth setup tutorial on showing you how to set up complex automations or anything like that. If you want one of those videos, check out some of my other GoHighLevel videos. This is giving you an in-depth overview of all the different functions and actions within GoHighLevel. Now, keep in mind, when I record this, that by the time you're watching this, there's already different functions and actions that GoHighLevel has, just because they're always rolling out new actions. But this will give you a really good understanding of a lot of the main actions that you'll be seeing, such as if and statements and contingencies, and how to kind of think about building workflows. It's going to get you into the workflow mindset behind actually building out more complex automations. So this will lay a good foundation. Now, when you see me going through things, and if you can't see what I'm specifically talking about on the right-hand side, you'll see that I am saying the name. All right, so if you ever can't find or you can't see in the video what I'm actually talking about for the specific action or step, just search that name. For example, if I'm talking about an SMS, you can search SMS in the workflow action search bar. If I'm talking about, Facebook custom audience trigger or webhook trigger, you can search that as well. But I go through pretty much standard from the top to bottom. Like I said, of course, there's new actions that are always coming out. So make sure to smash that subscribe button to stay up to date for more GoHighLevel videos. And as well, let me know in the comments down below any specific GHL, AI videos, automation workflows you want to see on this channel. I'm recording minimum a video every single day, striving to get 2 to 3 a lot of days too. So make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications to stay up to date, and yeah, enjoy the video. All right, so to get to this section, simply you just go to automation. All right, within here you're going to see workflow list. So create and manage workflows to automate your business processes, improve efficiency, and increase conversion. All right, so this is really a really powerful section. Okay, this is one of the most powerful sections that you can work on and master within the whole process, within the whole system, the CRM. Over here, you'll be able to see recent, so recent workflows and all that good stuff. And then list is just going to show a basic list. You can also search right here, and you can even filter your workflows based on the statuses. So all, draft, or published, you can clear and apply them here. Next pages are here. You can go to page 1, page 2, and you really have 2 options. You can create folders to organize your workflows, and I like to number them, basically just so they show up in the desired order that I'd like. And then you can create new workflows. So I'm just going to go over creating some new workflows. Now, if you click on create new workflow, you're going to see there are a few options. So start from scratch. So start from scratch with a fresh, clean slate for your automation and add your own triggers and actions. All right. And just as a side note, because I do get this question sometimes, if I go over here to marketing, you will see there are, it is actually, I think it's within sites. No, it's actually not even showing, but within some of the help docs, you'll see mentions of campaigns and triggers. You don't have to worry about those anymore. That's outdated stuff. As of now, it's all integrated within automations and workflows. So that's all you need to focus on. And like I said, you can start from scratch, create your own workflow from scratch. You can import from a campaign. So import all the steps from an already existing campaign. So there is campaigns and triggers, I believe, somewhere, or maybe they're not, I don't know. But if they are there and you already have a campaign existing, you can actually convert that into a workflow. And then here's some different templates that are actually already within here. So appointment booking recipe, detect intent on customer reply to send them to a booking link or create a manual SMS to help them make a decision. Appointment confirmation plus reminder, appointment confirmation plus reminder plus survey plus review request, auto miss callback text back, birthday template, FAQ auto reply, Facebook Messenger, Fast 5, Light, Fast 5, GMB, Google My Business message, list reactivation, send review request, webinar, registration, confirmation, and reminders, and then no-show template. All right, and we provide a lot more in-depth templates that you will get access to and that you'll learn more about in the later videos, but this is just an overview video on how to use the automation section and workflow section, how to build your own from scratch. And this will help you when you're actually working within our templates that we provide to you, our workflow templates, because then you'll know how all the functionality works and you can customize it to your own business. All right, so let's go ahead and create one from scratch. All right, this is actually what the interface looks like when you go to create a workflow. So you can actually rename the workflow here. So we'll name this test workflow. Okay. And let's just say, you know, there's many different workflows for different situations. We're going to dive into those in later videos, but there's like demo booking workflows. So when someone books a demo, a sales call, you have automatic workflows and triggers that will send them emails, send them text messages, send them information, segment those leads, and organize things automatically within the CRM. So that's one aspect. There's, you know, demo canceled workflows, demo like show up sequences. There are nurture sequences. So nurturing your whole list, like an overarching nurturing list. So when any person's email or opt-in, you're constantly saying top of mind awareness within their, you know, email news box, text messages, all these things. So there's so many different ones. We're going to dive into them. Don't worry. And you're going to get access to them. And we're going to show you all the advanced stuff. But for now, I really want to show you how to use this tool, all right, effectively. So you can click up here, actions, show version history. You can zoom out and zoom in here. All right, I'm just showing you some basic functionality right now. Over here in settings, all right, default settings, so communication management, so time window, so when this workflow can run. Typically, most of them are going to be anytime, but sometimes, especially if, you know, you have some sort of regulations within your industry, you may want to put the time frame here for whenever this workflow actually can run. So you can change the time, the days, etc. We'll just keep it at any time, and that's usually pretty standard. Sender address, so email. So give your emails a default from name and from email. You can override this setting from names and from emails and email actions themselves. So if you want to give a standard default email and name, you can do so here. Over here, you can access tags. So you could actually do what you would do. Say you could do user, full name for the name, and then user email right here. And then whoever this is the assigned user for a contact, that's who the email would send from, right? So you can do this. I don't always do this. Lots of times I don't even do this. I actually just do it manually within the email action, which I'll show you in a second. But for the sake of this, I'll just leave it like that. And then you could actually override that like they mentioned there as well. So contact management. So allow multiple. So allow a single contact to enter this workflow more than once. So workflows having an appointment or invoice-based input trigger will accept contacts multiple times, regardless of whether allow multiple is turned on or not. All right, so that's if they're booking appointments or invoices, so it's automatically going to be on, but you can enable this or disable this. Lots of times I just keep it disabled because, you know, lots of times you don't want to keep hounding the same person if they're going through the same action, through the same workflow. It really depends. You're going to have to use some systems thinking and just some basic understanding to understand a bunch of these elements. So I'm going to give you some of these, teach you kind of what some of these options are. And then as you get a more holistic view of the bird's eye view of this whole machine, you're going to get kind of to be like a wizard with this stuff. All right. It's all going to kind of come together and make sense. All right. I know there's a lot of info. Don't worry. You're going to get it. May take some time, but just rewatch this video if you need to. Okay. stops on response. So end workflow for a contact if the contact responds to a message that came from this workflow. Sometimes that can be useful. Conversation management, auto mark as read. So by default, automated messages don't mark conversations as read. Toggle this on if you want the conversation that this workflow will interact with to be marked as read. This can be useful just within your message section in the CRM, and it will be automatically marked as read. So if you go to the unread section, you won't see the conversations from the workflow. So these are just different options within the settings. Lots of times we don't even play around with these. We just change the settings within the actions, and I'll show you that in a second. But I just want to show you everything before I dive in to the nitty gritty. And then workflow sequence management. So event start date. So setting event start date and time enables you to use wait events that hold contacts from an amount of time relative to the event start date and time. Perfect for scenarios like reminders leading to up to a webinar. So depreciated, please use event start and time date. So yeah, I never really use this, but yeah, if you're using it for like a specific one-time webinar, it could make sense. All right. History, this is going to show your run history or action logs. So your contact, the action, the status, the executed on, the more details, the execution log. And then you can select contacts as well. And you can filter on a 30-day basis, today to yesterday, this week, this month, last month. All right. And action types, you can filter by all actions, content tag, notes, all the different actions, right? And we're going to get into all these actions. There's a bunch. And you can filter on status. So all statuses, executed, failed, finished, failed because retry limit was reached, a bunch of different ones. And then status, current workflow status. You can see the statuses here, okay? Draft and then publish. Once you're ready to publish, you would click published. I can't do this because there is no changes, so I'm going to do that in a second, but you can save it like I just did here. It's going to say updated at this time. All right, so there's a few things to note. Now we're in the workflow builder. It's gonna look like this. You can see add your first action and add new workflow trigger. So let's look at the actions first. So what is an action? An action is basically just what it says. It's an action that will happen when it gets to that stage in the workflow. All right, we'll come back to trigger in just a second. A trigger is actually what triggers the workflow. So you'll see if I click on trigger, so add a workflow trigger, and on execution, the contact gets added to this workflow. So a trigger is what brings the contact into the workflow. As you can see, we have lead connector premium triggers. So premium triggers are advanced triggers offered by a workflow builder to connect to an external system and app if it is chargeable per trigger. So execution, typically we don't use too many of these. If you're within our Stride sales CRM system, you would have to talk to us about these, but typically don't even worry about these at the moment. They're actually a very new feature. So if they get to the point where we're leveraging them a lot, we'll update you on those. But for now, I wouldn't even worry about these. All right. And then you'll see things like affiliate created. All right. Appointments. So there's different categories right here. So Shopify, media, TikTok, opportunities, membership, Facebook, events, contact actions, contact, appointments, affiliate, right? And that will allow you to easily find what you're looking for. A lot of these you won't really even be using, lots of them, because you probably aren't doing a lot of stuff with Shopify, most likely, unless you're running a Shopify store. Then you can do abandoned checkout, order placed, order fulfilled. There's media, so video tracking. So if you're using the internal CRM video hosting system, other than something, if you're hosting it on a third-party platform, it won't work. But there is a new update with you can actually host videos internally within the CRM, and then you can do video tracking and then basically add a filter, maybe saying if someone watched a specific video. So you can either do standard fields, so funnel, video duration percentage. So like say if they watched is equal to or greater than 50%. If they watch more than 50% of the video, then it will trigger, right? But we probably want to add another filter for video and select we don't have any videos in this demo account. This is a demo account within the CRM, but if you had a video, you could select the video, and that's how it will work. So you're going to see this kind of similarity between a lot of triggers where we select a trigger workflow action, and then you'll see these filters, and this is where you can start to filter and see it's very specific with when it triggers. Because for example, if I go here and I do appointments, customer booked appointment, and keep in mind where it says customer, it just anyone booked an appointment really. And then if I just kept it like that, that would mean anyone booked an appointment, it would trigger this workflow. We don't want that. We want to select a filter, and then we can either do standard fields, so has tag, in calendar, or in calendar group. And then there's all your custom fields. All right. So you could select like a custom field and says, if this custom field equals to this or whatever, then that's the filter. But for example, for this case, you could either do has tag, and then you could do book demo, for example. But lots of times you would probably want to do either in calendar and then select a calendar, or in calendar group. So let's delete this and then do in calendar group. And you could do sales team, for example. So like this would be typically if you're going to do a demo booking sequence, right? So someone books a call within the sales team. It can be like sometimes you may have multiple calendars within the sales team, say maybe different reps or whatever. It really depends, right? I'm just showing you some options. And you could, this is just workflow trigger name. So this is just what it would appear over here, demo booked, right? So then I can save trigger. Now we see demo booked. All right. Now we can add an action. So here's the premium ones. Don't worry about those. External communication. So I'm going to go over some of these. All right. So here's the different actions you can do. You can send email, send SMS, do a call. This will basically, here, we'll go over each one individually in a second, but I'm just going to go over on a high level. So call, voicemail, messenger, Instagram DM, manual SMS, manual call, GMB messaging, so Google My Business, affiliate, so add to affiliate manager, update affiliate, add to affiliate campaign, remove from affiliate campaign, CRM, add to contact or add contact tag, remove contact tag, create/update opportunity, add to notes, assign to user, remove assigned user, set event start date, add to workflow. So you can actually add them from this workflow to an additional workflow. All right. And lots of times you may want to do that at the end of the workflow. Say if they, and we're going to get into conditional if this then that statements and whatnot. We'll get into that in a second. And then if they take a certain action, you can remove them from a workflow or add them to a new workflow or remove them from all workflows. If they just join and you don't want them to get any new messages, say if they become a customer of yours, so your onboarding sequence, you may want to remove them from all workflows, from other workflows they may be in when they were just thinking about purchasing your services. So then they're not constantly getting all your other, marketing services, even though they already bought, right? That's just an example. Remove opportunity. So just like how you could create an opportunity, you can also remove opportunity, and then set internal notifications. So you can do this to trigger a few different ones I'll show you in a bit. And then set contact do not disturb, DND. That's if you want to add a note not to disturb them. Edit conversation, so you can do that. Send review request, Stripe one-time charge. So you have your Stripe connected. You can literally there's so many possibilities within here, right? Update appointment status, add task, AI appointment booking bot, send to Eliza agent platform. So these two, don't worry about these right now. If you get to the point later on where you need to leverage something like this, we can talk about it, but these are more advanced things, leveraging AI booking bots and whatnot. There's going to be an extra fee for this stuff, so we can talk about it later. You won't need this initially, but they are very cool that it has these features. And then add to Google Analytics, add to Google AdWords, update contact field, Facebook, add to custom audience, Facebook, remove from custom audience, Facebook conversion API. Please don't get overwhelmed with all this stuff. Most of this, like a lot of this stuff, like we know how to use it. Obviously, we've used it pretty much a lot of them over, working with our clients and whatnot, different situations, but you won't need to use all of these. All right. you won't need to use a lot of these, especially for, getting going with this, getting started with this. You're going to get more, more advanced with this stuff over time, but don't overwhelm yourself. All right. That's what I would say. Focus on the main ones. And then membership actions. So this is great for, hosting a program, hosting a course, whether it's a flagship course or even a mini course, or selling a book with a little membership, whatever the case is, even a mastermind. You can membership grant offer right here and membership revoke offer. So depending on specific actions within different workflows, you can do that. Say if they just sign up, okay, we're going to grant them access to that offer. All right. And you could just simply click this and select the specific offer. All right. Like I said, this is a demo account, so you're not going to see any data for that stuff. All right. So let's go back here. Now you'll see conditions and workflows. So this is really cool. This is if/else condition right here. That's a really important one we'll get into. We have a wait condition. We have a webhook condition. If you're not familiar with webhooks, we'll briefly go over some of what this is. We have a go-to condition and a math operation. So you can actually have it do math operations within here, and then a goal event. All right. So those are the actions on a high level overview. Just to briefly go over the triggers on a high level overview, we have affiliate created, appointment status, customer booked appointment, contact, birthday reminder, contact changed, contact created, contact do not disturb. So say someone becomes a do not disturb, you can have a workflow for that. Or contact tag. So any contact tag that's added, you would have a workflow for that for specific situations. Custom date reminder, note added, note changed. So if a note's added, if a note's changed, you can have a workflow that triggers that. Task added, task reminder, contact actions. So customer replied, form submitted, order form submission, order submitted, survey submitted, trigger link clicked, Twilio validation error, call status, email events, Facebook lead form submitted, membership. So category completed. This is like, you can get intricate with, holding your clients accountable with when they're going through, your program. Say if they complete a category, you can congratulate them, send a congratulation email. Great. You completed module 1 or category 1, whatever. Category started, you can, encourage them. Hey, great. You started this category. Here's a few tips within this category, for example. All right. And these are some fairly newer triggers that have been rolled out. So there's constantly new triggers, new workflow improvements being added. Even when you're watching this, there may be some new additional ones. Things may be a bit different, but a lot of the principles stay the same. There's always going to be new improvements added. If there's some major ones, then we'll obviously be continually updating, either with new training videos or just redoing specific training videos. But anyways, membership new sign up. So that's a trigger. Offer access granted, offer access removed, product access granted, product access removed. If you're not familiar with a lot of these membership stuff, don't worry. You'll be learning about those in later videos. Product completed, product started, user login. These are all triggers, keep in mind. So when these actions, like when this happens, it would trigger the workflow. And you can have multiple triggers within one workflow. Keep that in mind. And you could either have them do similar things, similar actions, or you can segment those actions with if-else conditions and then have filters within those if-else conditions dependent upon what the trigger was, and then have different actions corresponding to that. I know that may sound like a word, like a bunch of words that are being said, but you can rewind that and just hear what I said again, and I'm going to show you it as well in action in a bit, but it's not that complicated once you get the hang of things. Some people like to make workflows, very complicated and complex. We have complex ones, but we like to keep it simple, make it very simple. It's a very simple thing once you get your head wrapped around it and understand it. So, opportunity stage status changed. So this is great. Opportunities and pipelines, if you're not familiar with them, you either need to watch the videos we have on them, or you'll be watching those in the future, depending on where you're at watching this video. But basically, say if you or a sales rep or whoever is moving a prospect along through the pipeline, and that's over in the opportunity stage, right? You have different contact cards here, you know, loss, churn. This is just an example pipeline: demo scheduled, demo rescheduled, demo no show. So say if I'm dragging a prospect to demo rescheduled, or if it automatically goes to demo rescheduled, or hey, demo 1 or demo completed not closed, right? So I had a talk with someone and it didn't close, but I want to have automatic reminders and follow-ups, right? So I would basically drag them to demo completed not closed, and then over here within my workflow, I would have a trigger that says opportunity status changed, add a filter, and then in pipeline, I would select a pipeline for sales pipeline, add another filter, and then it is moved. Either you could do hashtag move from status, move to status, or pipeline stage. So you could do pipeline stage and then demo completed not closed, right? So what this trigger is any time someone moves a card to demo completed not closed, I would have this trigger go, and then I could have option status filter is required for opportunity. Moved from or moved to status. Okay, so actually we wouldn't want to do this one. I believe we would want to do opportunity, not status change, not pipeline. Yeah, pipeline stage. There we go. Not status. So in pipeline here, and then pipeline stage. There we go. And then demo completed, not closed. All right. So see, sometimes even me, even though I'm, you know, very experienced with using workflow, sometimes, you know, you just make a few mistakes and you can just recorrect and troubleshoot. But it, you know, it's fairly straightforward. Trigger workflow name. You don't always have to do this. You know, you can do this. It's really just easy. Just a visual representations for you to remember what that trigger or action is if you want that. All right. So I could just put demo completed, not closed. All right. And then I would save that trigger. All right. And then I could have an email, the action name. So this is just like the name. So this could be email 1, you know, follow up. All right. And then from name, you could actually type out, I could type out my name like this. And my email. Or I could do, like I showed you before, I could go user, email, and then user, full name, right? I could add a subject. Hey, right? And then you could select a template. Typically, it's actually better, I find, to create the messages within here and not use templates most of the time, because variety of reasons, but I'll just keep it at that. All right, message. So here you can do, hey, custom field, contact, first name, comma, great chatting with you. All right, best user first name. You could even do user signature, just as an example. All right, well, I can highlight this. I could change the font, like I could make it Arial or whatever. I could change the size, right? So if I wanted it big, I'm just showing you a few different options here. You know, you can add headers, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. All right, you can remove formatting, undo, redo, you know, paragraph, inline. You can format it with bold, italicized, underlined, strike through, superscript, subscript, code, block, you can do block, paragraph, block, quote, div, pre, align. You can do left, center, right, justify. All right, so you have a bunch of options there for formatting: bold, italicize, align left, align center, align right, and then justify. All right, here we have bullet points. So default, like, or just full black ones, circles with just blanks in the middle, and then squares. So these are just different bullets. And then numbers, so you can do numbers, alphabet, ABC, different types of capitalized ones, lowercase, Roman time, numerals, etc. All right. And then what do we have? We have indents. So decrease indent, increase indent. You can add links like so. So I could highlight something, insert a link. All right. The URL, the text to display. I could open link in current window, new window, and link list. I believe that's if you're using trigger links. You can add an image. All right. So you can either upload like here, drag it, or browser an image, or you can input the source URL here, alternative description if you want to. It's not really that much important. And then width, height, you could use the lock or unlock to keep it within the same, sizing. All right. So a few different things to note there. All right. And then text color. So I could change the text color, say for example, green here. All right. And then highlight. So I could highlight like so, highlight this red. All right. Obviously I wouldn't do this. I'm just showing you the different options here. Here is where if you go to here to the source code, you can actually see the source code. So basically it formats it, whatever you're using in the visual builder, basically just HTML. That's what, emails are. And then, you get to see the nice pretty stuff. So if you want to see the source code, check it out. You can see the breaking brackets here, span brackets, font family, all this stuff. If you know code, you can do some editing within here, or if you ever need to edit something specifically, say if I wanted to change something, you can do it there, but you can also just do it in the visual builder. It doesn't really matter. A lot easier. I usually just always use the visual builder. All right. Okay. And then let's see. So custom values. So you should be familiar with these. You have contact. So you can input any custom field for contact. You can also use custom fields right there. User, so this is whoever's assigned to that contact of the user. This, you can grab their information like I showed you before, username, user email. Appointment, so you can pull the appointment name, title, start date, end date, start time, day of week, month, name of month, time zone, cancellation link, reschedule link, right? You can include a reschedule link, include a cancellation link, include the meeting location, include notes, add to Google Calendar option. So you can say, hey, add it to your Google Calendar here. All right, so that's really useful. Add to iCal Outlook. Recurring, so repeats, times to repeat, assigned user, full name, first name, last name, email, phone number, right? So, and then calendar, name, message body, account. So this is actually of the account of within the CRM right now. And then this is like time, custom values. So second, minute, hours, day, year, etc. Date, attribution. So session source, all these attribution sources, first or latest. All right, basically just where the lead came from. Lots of times you won't be using these sort of things. The main ones you will be using is contact, user, appointment, and that's a majority of it. Maybe right now, just showing you all this stuff. Opportunity stage, you can use those. And then custom values. These are custom values. All right. So that is that. Trigger links. We'll maybe get into those later, but you can include trigger links basically. There's no trigger links in this account. Trigger links are basically, for example, I could create a trigger link that says unsubscribe. And then when someone clicks on that trigger link, it would unsubscribe them and it would trigger to redirect them to unsubscribed funnel page. All right. That's an example. But we'll get into that maybe later. So let's just save this action. Issues with custom variable. What's the custom variable issue? Maybe one of this. Let's see. Okay, it was actually the issue there. Let's go user first name and then user email, user full name. All right, let's save that. And we can even add contact first name. There we go. Save. Cool. There's one email. You can add stuff above or below. If you click here, you can actually have actions to either comment on here, which would just be for internal purposes. You could copy action or copy all actions from here. So say if I had a bunch of actions below, I could copy this action, everything below like a tree, and I could paste it somewhere, right? You can move action or move all actions from here, and you can delete this action or all actions from here. So you have a lot of different options and a lot of variability that you can play around with. Okay, so up here, say if I was using this user thing, right? You always have to assign a user to that contact then, or else you're not going to have any user info. So to do that, you just actually can search assign to user. So assign to user, and then users, I can just select myself, for example. Only applied to unassigned contacts. You could do that if you want. We'll just save this action. So assign to user. I could add a tag. This is like typically what I like to do when creating a workflow. We're going to be providing you workflow templates if you don't have them already. But I'm just showing you kind of the process of me creating a workflow for something typically, right? I'm usually going to add a tag. If I don't already have a tag within my account set up, then, you know, I would create a new tag and add a tag. And if you're not familiar with tags, you know, check out the, you know, CRM training video overview, but I'll quickly explain tags. They're basically just, you could use custom fields realistically, but lots of times you don't want to make those have like so many custom fields in your account. Tags are just something you're going to be stacking them up a lot more per se. You don't need to have hundreds, but you will have more typically, and they're just kind of basically ways to segment your data and kind of tag, put it like note to self. Okay, this person booked a demo. So let's say if they booked a demo, I'm going to add booked demo, right? And then you can, you know, basically do stuff. You can basically keep track of who booked a demo. Obviously, there's other ways you can track who booked a demo, like maybe in your opportunity stage, or if you check your appointment calendar, who booked a call through that calendar. But this is just another way. And then it will allow you to segment data in easier ways down the road and certain things, right? So we add this demo booked tag. So we assign it to a user, say if they booked a demo. Now, just keep in mind, I wouldn't have both of these triggers if I was doing a demo booked workflow. I'm just showing you a bunch of different ways, right? And then assign to user, add to tag. All right, now I would maybe want to add a wait condition. So wait is right here, and wait. So action name, you could change it. Like you could change wait 1 day if you want to wait 1 day, or you could just keep it wait. I could put day. You put the input here, and then you can do minutes, hours, or days. So I could say wait 1 day. I could say wait 24 hours. And you can actually do either wait for, and you can do a time delay. So wait for a particular amount of time or period. You can do event delay or appointment time. So wait until before or after an event start time or appointment time. All right, so wait until before or after or exact time, months, days, hours, minutes, etc. And then if timing of this wait step is already in the past, how should this contact proceed? Move to the next step, or move to a specific step, or skip all outbound actions till next wait or event start date. All right, overdue, so wait until before or after the invoice due date. So those are a few time-based actions. There's also CRM event actions. So condition, wait for a particular condition to be satisfied, wait for a contact to reply on a certain step, wait for a trigger link to be clicked, wait for email events. So you could do email events and then select pick email step to wait for. We don't have one really, but you could do select email event because we're doing the wait event above this email, so we don't have one to select from. But you could do, you know, if they opened it, if they clicked it, if they unsubscribed, if they complained for spam, if they bounced, and this is Mailgun only if you're using Mailgun. So you can select different email event triggers for the wait time. All right. And yeah, those are the main ones. Lots of the time you'll be using time delays, and you can do advanced windows as well. So sometimes we do this, like say for example, you know, you may want to do here, and you may want to do a window or an exact, and then you can do a window from like where are we, 8 a.m. to, let's say for example, you know, 9 p.m. or 5 p.m. whatever. Certain industries do, like if you're in insurance or something, like you have regulations on terms of like sending and whatnot. So you may want to have between specific hours just to make sure you're good. And additional filters, so you can do current day of month, current year, right? So say if I do current month is, and then January, right? So only resume for January, right? Or current day of month is, you know, whatever the day is. Or current year is, you know, 2013 or 2000. Say if I only wanted to start within 2020, or sorry, not 2013, 2023 or 2014 or 24, right? So you have a lot of customization there. Lots of times we just like to keep it simple and just do like one day. All right, so don't overcomplicate this stuff. I'm telling you, you probably won't use, even especially if you're just starting out, you probably won't use like 80 to like 70 to 60 to 80% of what you can do within workflows. And you really don't even need to most of the time, especially with our proven done for you templates and stuff. I'm just showing you a complete overview. Some of this stuff we don't even really use that much, but it's good to know certain things you may, because then even in the future, you may not need some of this stuff now, but if you ever do need it, you'll kind of know where it is, and you'll know that you have those capabilities and you're able to build those things if need be. All right. So send emails is one of the most popular ones you'll use, you know, and send SMS too. So send, so action, you can select a template if you want, but there's also same sort of thing, custom values, trigger links. All right. And then, yeah, you can add attachments or files through URL. Also, by the way, test phone numbers. So you can send a test SMS. You can also do the same thing with the email. So I could put an email here and send test mail, and you'll actually get this mail and you'll be able to look at it and say, okay, does this look right? Should I change the size to be lower or whatever, right? Did it all work? Did the custom values populate, et cetera, right? So you can kind of troubleshoot that way. All right, so there's SMS call. So if the contact has been assigned to a user, this event will call the user and play the whisper message. If the contact is unassigned, this contact event will call the number listed in settings/company tab/company phone field and play the whisper message. If the person who answers the call presses any number key during the call, we will dial the contact, and if they answer, we will bridge the call. So this is like, this is pretty cool. You can use this. It's a call whisper. You can type in something and it will whisper message. So this is the message you want the person who answers the phone to hear. You can use custom variables to customize this message. Pretty cool stuff. Call timeout, disable voicemail direct. So when a contact connects, we by default try to understand if a person answered or if it's voicemail. This creates a slight delay in the call connection, but if you have stop on reply turned on and it is determined that a voicemail answer, the contact will continue in the workflow. Toggling this on will disable this voicemail detection, eliminating the delay. But if stop reply is on and voicemail detection is off, the workflow will be stopped when either a person or a voicemail answers. It is recommended to add a call timeout of less than 20 seconds when disabling voicemail detection to ensure the call is dropped before a voicemail can pick up. So disable voicemail detect. You know, like this thing right here, this action, it's useful, but it's kind of like icing on the cake. Some of these are just icing on the cakes. You don't necessarily need all of them. And I don't want you to get fixated with all these things at the start. I don't want you to say, hey, Josh, you know, I'm ready to go, or I got all these things on, but hey, we need to like, I can't start, or I can't do certain things or launch or whatever, wherever you're at. Maybe you've already launched, you're killing it, but you don't need all these things, little nitty gritty things set up and perfectly fine tuned before you get really rolling. So I don't want you to be focused on all these things. I'm giving you an overview just so you know it's there. And yes, to answer your question, you know, we will work a lot on a lot of these things over time, and you can have a lot of these things within your business and systems eventually, but don't get caught up on them. Voicemail. So pushes a pre-recorded voicemail file to the contact. So this is really cool. These are called voicemail drops. And keep in mind, guys, back in the day, you know, we even in the first versions of our programs, you know, you would have had to like use like 10 different tools. You would have been paying like, you know, $500,000+ a month, leveraging all the tools to be ordered to do certain things like this. This brings them all into one tool, and you don't have to pay $1,000, $3,000 a month, whatever. It's all under one hub. It's easily integrated and it's very streamlined. So this is just game changing within the marketing world. You know, this type of stuff. So this is really cool. You would normally have to use something like Sly Broadcast, or there's a few other ones for voicemail drops, but now you can do everything within here within workflows. So you would just record a voicemail. So for example, I could say, hey John, or hey, I'm just giving you a call because you opted into the you know, 6-day Accelerate Your Stride challenge, and I just wanted to make sure you get you know, your welcome package before you start this challenge. I'm extremely excited for you to get going with this. But yeah, if you have any questions, give us a call back or shoot us a text below or whatever. You can have a call to action at the end, right? Just as an example, say if it were opt-in, or maybe you're doing more of a cold lead, but you can record a voicemail, right? You're just recording it on like your phone or your microphone, and you upload that file right here. And then within that workflow, basically, it would call that contact automatically within that stage, and it would automatically make it go to voicemail, and then it would do it's a voicemail drop. So it would send this, they would have that in their voicemail. So that it's a really powerful strategy. You can leverage this in a bunch of different ways. And I'm kind of just showing you guys right now the different tools of the arsenal. Later on, we're going to show you how all these tools can be implemented into an actionable, you know, strategy. All right. So if you're wondering, how do I use this? How do I use that? Don't worry. We're going to, you know, get into all that and go over the necessary ones. We're not going to show you all of them. We're not going to show you Shopify stuff. We don't, that's not what we do. But, you know, I'm just still telling you that this is here in case you need to use it. All right, Messenger. So Facebook Messenger, so sends Facebook Messenger message to contact. Contact needs to have previously messaged a connected Facebook page no more than 24 hours before arriving at this stage in order for the message to successfully deliver. Don't worry too, like you can use these if you're really using like your Facebook page. We don't even really, you know, use that type of stuff. Our clients really don't do it too much depending on the specific client, but I'm just showing you the option is there. All right. So yeah, and it is only with a Facebook page. It's not going to be with your Facebook personal profile. So, so yeah, we have other strategies for obviously managing conversations with your personal profile. So yeah, Instagram DM, this is the same thing, a business Instagram, right here. So send a Instagram DM to the contact. Contact needs to have previously messaged a connected Instagram page no more than 24 hours before arriving at the stage in order for the message to be successfully delivered. All right, same sort of interface as the SMS and text. We don't use that too much, but it is there. Manual SMS and manual call. So these are very similar. So it creates a manual action for someone to manually send an SMS to the contact. Manually actions can be found in conversations and then manual actions. So just to, even though I just said it there, I'm going to show you conversations, manual actions. This is where you'll see your manual actions. You can filter based on campaign or workflow, and then you can filter based on assignee. So you could go to whoever's assigned if you have sales teams and whatnot. Say if you wanted to do a manual, so say in the follow-up process, yes, you're going to automate a lot of stuff, but if you want to have manual actions like a manual SMS notification or a manual call, that is what you would do. All right. And there's manual SMS, there's manual call, literally just like that. Save action. So now manual call. So if someone got to this stage, say they get the email follow up, then they would get a manual call. Typically we would do a wait between there, maybe wait a day. And typically you would actually probably do a if else statement. So if they, you know, take an action, then you don't maybe want to call them. Say if they, you know, book a call, if they do, maybe you want to add a manual call action, and then that would show up within this section for whoever's assigned. All right. And assign to user, you can select multiple ones, and then we'll do split traffic either equally or unevenly, right? And then you can select the traffic weight. Like say if I have a sales rep, like I said, this is a demo account, so it's just me and one of our VAs right here. But say if I wanted, I'm the top sales rep, right? And I want to give a traffic weight of 5 to me, and Abigail only gets 1 because she's not the top sales rep. Say if I'm a sales manager, say if I have like 5 guys, you can assign that right there. So you're giving your top sales guys, you know, unevenly, or if you want to round robin evenly assigned it, then that you can just do that way, right? Okay, so that is that. So that's manual call. GMB messaging sends a Google My Business message to the contact. I've never used that, but yeah, it's there. All right. Affiliate, add to affiliate manager, update affiliate, add to affiliate campaign, remove from affiliate campaign. That's there. I'm not going to go over those. Affiliate is a new feature. All right. It's very cool. It's very useful, but don't worry about it right now. Once you scale your business and you want to have an affiliate program, or you like validate your process and it makes sense to have an affiliate program, this could be very beneficial, and I'll probably do a separate videos on this section and how to really leverage that later down the line. But don't fixate on that stuff. Like I said, that's extra stuff. You don't need that to get going, to get started. All right. CRM, add contact tag. Very important. Like I showed you, we leverage that a lot. Remove contact tag, still important. We don't use it as much, but sometimes in specific cases, you would use that. Create opportunity / update opportunity, that you're going to be using this a lot, or you're going to be seeing it a lot. All right. Like I said, you really don't even need to be an expert with all this, but you should know it. All right. We provide you a lot of the standard essential workflows you'll need. But it's good to understand how the whole machine works. So I encourage you to watch this video over and watch other workflow training that we have over and over again. Opportunity name. So I would do like the full name of the contact. You could also do the contact company name. Company. There we go. You could do something like that. You could do opportunity source. So I could go to attribution. I could do first or latest, and then I could do source, UTM source. All right. Lead value. Let's say my average sale is $8,000. I could put the lead value there. All right. Status. So this is the lead status, either open, won, lost, or abandoned. If it's a new lead being booked or whatever, it would be an open opportunity. Won obviously is closed. Lost is you lost it or abandoned, right? Allow opportunity to move in any previous stage in pipeline. Allow duplicate opportunities. You can do those if you want. Lots of times I don't do either one of those. Here's where you would select your pipeline. So let's say sales pipeline, pipeline stage. So you could select a pipeline stage such as, rescheduled, right? And so this is going to create a new opportunity with this contact being in this pipeline, at this pipeline stage. All right, so you would use that for certain situations. Keep in mind, guys, this workflow right now does not make any sense whatsoever. Okay, this is not a workflow that would be used, and I'm not creating it in any sort of order. I'm just showing you what certain things do. You'll get a more understanding of how some of these will be used if you're not already, when you're actually looking at our workflows, and also, watching some other videos and whatnot. All right, so add to notes. So this is where you can add a note to the contact. This is useful, all right, to add a note at a specific stage sometimes. Okay, and then assign to user. I showed you that already. Remove the assign user. Pretty standard, pretty self-explanatory. Set event start date. So custom field, specific day. So use this event to set the event start date to a specific day, date, or time, which enables you to use wait events that hold contact in relation to day, date, time that you set. All right. So custom field, you can set the date or the start time there. So you could change that. Haven't used that too much. And then add to workflow. We use this a lot. So you can add them to a different workflow. So say if someone goes through a whole workflow and they don't take the right actions I want, then I want to add them to our 5-day soap opera sequence or whatever, right? And you can pass import trigger parameters. So those are certain things. We use that a lot, and you'll see that more as you go through. Remove from workflows, so you can remove from a specific workflow, or this would actually be from remove from workflow, so you can choose the current workflow or another workflow, right? So there's that. And then there's, like I showed you before, where are we? Remove from all workflows. All right, pretty self-explanatory. Remove opportunity, so this would remove the opportunity in that pipeline, right? Okay. And then send internal notification. We use this a decent amount, so you can send an email internally from, you know, name, from email to, and then select your users. So either all users, assign users, custom email, particular user, and then subject, template, email, test email, all that good stuff. You can add an attachment as well to emails, of course. You can see statistics here. So delivered, opened, clicked, replied, bounced. And you could check back on this and see actual statistics once the workflow has been running, right? You can change that internal notification action name. All right, so that's email notification. So this would be an internal notification within the CRM. So you could change the title, the message here. You could redirect a page to, so the redirect page would be to either the contact, the conversation, or the opportunity. So say I set an internal notification to the assigned sales rep when that prospect gets through a certain action in this workflow. And if they were to, like, say if the sales rep was in their CRM, they would get that internal notification, right? And then if they click on that notification, they would either go to that assigned contact, that assigned conversation, or the opportunity, right? So that's really useful. And to user type, same sort of thing, all users, particular user, or user assigned to contact. All right, there we go. And I hope that makes sense so far, guys. I hope you're following along. Please, like I said, don't get overwhelmed. If you have any questions, make sure to ask us. But this is all going to make more sense too as you go along through additional workflow training, and also take a look at our specific workflows that we provide. All right. But this is giving you an overview. This is you're on a learning journey. You're a lifelong learner. Things are gonna change. There's gonna be new features added, but this is good stuff. You're on the right track. You're in the right place. This is the future of marketing. This is the future of building businesses, leveraging automations, building systems. You're gonna be an expert at this stuff in no time. Just stick to the system, trust the process, and you'll be good. Okay. So that's internal notifications, and you can also do text, SMS right here. This is good. This is good. When, for example, if we're running Facebook ads and leads are coming in, it's very important to follow up on those leads ASAP. All right, like within like 2, 3, 5 minutes, right? So, or else they're gonna die out. They're gonna forget, right? They're gonna go about their day. Those are kind of somewhat colder leads. They're not like leads coming from organic or Facebook group or YouTube where they know you. They feel like you're a friend already, or they like your program. They know, like, and trust you. These are colder leads. So that's an example. You want to have internal notifications going to yourself or your sales reps, you know, on pretty much all platforms saying, hey, call this lead. And then you can add, like I would do internal notification, let's say like an SMS, I would put to assigned user, whatever. And then you can select a template, or I would say, hey, like I would put like new lead, right? And then I put the lead information. So contact, full name, contacts, company name. All right. And then maybe some custom fields of what, or custom values, custom fields right here based on like if they filled out a form and answered questions, so that you would have that in the SMS. And I would also put their number too. So they have that and all that information. And then, yeah. So that's an example right there of why you would want to use internal notifications. There's many examples though. And then set contact do not disturb. So this is good. Do not disable DND for all channels, disable DND for specific channels, enable DND for all channels, enable DND for specific channels. So that's do not disturb stuff just to stay in compliance. You can use that in specific times if you want to do that. If it puts it to do not disturb, then that means that it like automations won't accidentally contact that contact on any specific channel, or you can select specific ones, whether it's text, email, etc. Okay, and you can remove those as well with that action. And then edit conversation. So mark the conversation as read, unread, and archive and unarchive. So you can decide read, unread, archive, and you can do that there with that action. All right. And then let's see, send review request. All right. You know, pretty self-explanatory. Stripe one-time charge, pretty self-explanatory. Update appointment status. All right, so you can select status, new, confirmed, canceled, showed, no show, invalid. All right, so this action changes the status of the appointment if the contact was added to this workflow via an appointment-related trigger, appointment, or customer booked appointment. The status of the appointment that fired the trigger will be updated. If the contact was added to this workflow via another method, the status of the recent appointment that that contact is carrying will be updated. All right, so that is that. And a lot of those ones, like some of these ones, we don't even use them that much. All right, certain times we may, but don't worry if you don't understand what some of these actions really mean or how they would be implemented. All right, you know, so if you really need to use some of these, then you'll get to understand them. But the main ones are some of those ones I showed you earlier. All right, add task, that is another one that is good. You can add a task, assign it to a specific user. You do select one or contact assigned user, and then due date. So due in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Now you can title it. So like, and you can add the variables as well. You can add tasks that you'll be able to access within the CRM. You can actually see tasks within here, task section. You can filter by user, pending, completed, due dates, etc. Okay. And that's good too for like adding tasks for follow-ups or adding tasks for anything really. And then AI appointment booking bot, like I said, this is advanced, so you won't be worried about that. And then send to Eliza agent platform. This is another thing. Don't worry about this. And then, all right, so yeah, don't worry about these two appointment booking platforms and bots. Add to Google Analytics, add to Google AdWords. We're not going to go into that, but pretty self-explanatory. You, especially if you're just starting, you're not going to have to worry about this. This is more like advanced stuff if you really want to get nitty gritty. Lots of times we don't even use a lot of this stuff. So update contact field. So you can clear contact field, update contact field, and then you can select a field to update if need be. So that can be useful. And then Facebook add to custom audience, Facebook remove from custom audience, Facebook conversion API. This stuff can be definitely really useful if you're going heavy on ads. If you're not going heavy on ads, I'm not even going to get into it right now. And also too, it's more advanced stuff. I don't want you to get overcomplicated. It's cool though. It's great features, really great features. But anyways, so membership actions. So grant membership offer, revoke membership offer. I showed you those before. Really, really powerful stuff right there. And then this is really cool. We went over weights. Now we'll go over if else. So this is really powerful. So these are conditions. So condition. So you can name the condition. You can set different branches. All right. So please complete the branch details before adding a new branch. So we'll do that right now. So let's say segment. So this is how you can segment stuff. So let's do contact details. Actually, wait, let's do do opportunities. Pipeline stage is in demo completed, not closed. All right, add a segment. And contact details is tag maybe includes. So this is actually where you would use a lot of tags, to be honest. Like this one, the pipeline stage, you probably wouldn't use this too much in conditions. You're gonna use like tags and stuff like that a lot of the time. That tags are one way to easily segment data and contacts. Like I said, you can do it so many different ways. There's certain ways you can segment contacts based on the same action with like either using tags or custom fields or doing it a few different ways, but tags is just a kind of easy way. You can also add conditions within here. So you'll see like you can add new branches. So a branch would look like So let's just remove this and remove this, and then I could add a new branch. So we could do or, and so this is this, it's not complicated. It's I'm gonna show you in a second. I'm gonna make it all make sense. All right. Okay, we're not gonna do email. That's not a viable one. Let's do something actually realistic here, like custom tags. So you can do includes, does not include, is not empty, or is empty. And we can do, right, cancel demo. Now, like I said, this is not like a conditional branch that I would typically use. Like this has no relevancy to make sense within like an actual workflow. I'm just showing you some of these options, right? So what this does, and we would name this to, let's delete this and let's do booked demo, right? And this one will do canceled demo. So tags are really good for this, like I said. So what this would do is once the contact goes through this and they get to this stage, the condition is showing, okay, anyone that has a contact tag of booked demo is going to go through this fork right here. It's going to go through this stage, and it's not going to go through any of this stuff. So I can create more emails like so. Let's just do here, save. All right, email 1. Then we do a wait. 2 minutes. And then here, we're going to do a text like so. All right, a wait 3 minutes. So any contact that has a book tag, a book demo tag, is going to go get this email, get this wait. They're not going to get any of this stuff. All right, if they have cancel demo, they're going to get this SMS, and then it's going to wait, and that's it. All right, they're not going to get book demo or the none. And if they don't have book demo or none tag, then they're going to go and they're going to get a voicemail drop, right? Okay, I have to upload a voicemail. They're going to get a manual call. All right, save. All right, and then within here, we can do, for example, another if else in that. All right, so I can do contact details, do tag, you know, is, you know, either you could do like, there's so many options, right? But they still, okay, actually we would want includes maybe canceled. So now if they actually canceled their demo at this point, you know, you send them a different email like so, save. All right, so you can see we're creating branches based on conditional logic, and you can see how this could get like kind of advanced. Like I could even copy this, copy all actions from here, and then copy it here. All right, so now we're seeing like, obviously this is not doing anything, but you can actually make stuff that does stuff and actually follows like logical actions with your leads and with your prospects or customers. So copy all actions from here, you know, say I'm pasting it here. Now we're getting some crazy looking stuff, right? Some people build like these huge intricate things. We like to keep it more simple. We do have some more intricate ones. So, but yeah, like this looks like it's doing a bunch of stuff, but it's really not. It's just a whole bunch of garbage. But you can make stuff that looks like this that actually does really great stuff. We'll be providing you with some as well. And also, like I showed, there's 2 triggers here. You could have really as many triggers as you want. Right, so like this. And then you could actually create a condition based on what the trigger is. So we could do workflow trigger is, and then so like it's not sometimes it doesn't show. You have to save and refresh. But yeah, you could do that, have different triggers, and then create different flows within the same workflow based on different triggers. Lots of times, sometimes it's good to do that. Lots of times it's good to actually split up the triggers, but it really depends. So I could do if else workflow trigger is, and then I'm seeing now my 3 triggers: affiliate created, demo booked. So I'll say demo booked, save. Now I have a condition, basically if demo booked, if that was the trigger, then now they're going to go through all this. If demo booked wasn't the trigger, then they're not going to go through that. They're going to go through something else, right? So that would be either affiliate or demo completed, not closed. All right, so that is kind of like a high level overview. You can also test workflow here and select a contact and run test, and it's going to run that contact through here. I'm not going to do that right now because this is a whole bunch of garbage. But that is pretty much it. All right, I really just walked you through majority of these workflow triggers. Actually, there's actually a few I missed here, so I'll quickly go over this. So affiliate created, appointment status, birthday reminder, we went over this, contact do not serve. We actually went over all these. Facebook lead form submitted. This is important if you're running Facebook lead forms, which you probably won't be doing right now. And lots of times too, we run Facebook ads. You're gonna lots of times want to run it through a funnel, opposed to a lead form. It really depends. You're gonna get cheaper leads for a lead form, but they're gonna be lower quality. But it's cool. You can integrate it with your Facebook account and Facebook ads account. Don't worry about that stuff right now. Okay, I don't want you getting on our next coaching call and asking us about all this extra advanced stuff. It only really, the main stuff is what you need. There is advanced stuff in here, and I'm showing you this so that you know, like TikTok form submitted, you probably aren't going to be running TikTok ads right off the bat, right? These are things that you may want to do later down the line, but you do have these options here. So there's a lot of options. You're going to get to see what actually you need more and more, and you looking at the templates, changing up the templates, changing up the workflow templates we provide you, building your own too, getting creative. But you can really leverage the templates we provide you and customize them. This will give you more than enough info on how to use the automation section. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always ask us. And but yeah, you can get creative. I want to give you these tools and give you this overview, so you're not just relying on our templates and our done for you stuff as a crutch, but you actually understand the inner workings of how this whole machine works, and you're able to get a level of systems thinking and viewing things on a bird's eye view and understanding why this is happening and this is happening. So this is going to make you into, understand these operations and whatnot. So this type of platform of automations and workflows makes our job as, people who understand marketing and systems and operations easier than it's ever been. All right. In the old days, even 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, there was really only a few ways to do it, which is leveraging Zapier and Integromat and things like that to connect all apps together. Now you can do a lot of stuff within one interface. It's a lot easier. Now, a few more things before I end off. And we'll get into maybe more of these later in other videos. But so we went over if else, we went over weights. We're going to go over webhooks in a second. Go to is very simple. So I could add this, say if someone gets to here, I could go to, and then I could do a loop to the start. Let's say if they get to this action, we're going to go up here to the very start, or maybe I want to add a go to, and there's different situations. I'm not telling you why and where you would use these things. I'm just showing you right now what they actually do. We're going to get into the actual application of a lot of these later, and you're also going to be able to get your own ideas of how you can apply these, I'm sure, right? I'm just showing you, right? So someone gets here, it's going to take them to this action, and then they're going to follow out through there, right? Okay, so that's that. And let me show you math operations. So this is, we're not even going to go over this right now, but you can do operators right here to basically do math and then update fields. So like you could update certain things, but we don't really leverage that too much. Goal event. So when a contact meets the conditions of a goal, they'll jump straight to the goal regardless of where they were in the workflow and continue from the goal. So you could select a goal. So type of goal. So received an email event, clicked and trigger link, add a contact added a contact tag or removed a contact tag, and then select email event. So open, clicked, subscribed or unsubscribed, complained, bounced, and if contact reaches a goal action without meeting its conditions, you could end this workflow, continue anyway, or wait until the goal is met. And this selected action will be performed if the contact reaches a step and has not met that condition yet. All right, so that's that. And then webhook. So this is really good stuff. This is basically, we're not going to get into the advanced stuff right now, but if you're familiar with Zapier or Integromat, there's other ones as well, but the two main are Zapier or Integromat, which actually just rebranded to make.com. But you can do either basically API integration or webhooks. So you can get a webhook URL from Zapier or Integromat, put it in here. You could include custom data. So these custom key value pairs will be included along with the standard data. So you could add those key value, add another one, headers value. So I'm not going to get, that's actually some bit more advanced stuff. But you can leverage just a simple URL and do a post. You can also do a get right here. If you wanted to, you could get query string parameters, enter that here, headers. Don't worry about that stuff. That's like a bit of developer talk, even though it's not too complicated, but we're not going to cover that stuff right now. The main one that you could use though is you could just get Zapier, Integromat. What you could do is basically set up, for example, connect it to something like Slack or whatever, for example, and you could set up a Zap, let's say, and anytime, you know, it reaches this webhook action, it would send the information, the contact information to the Zapier or the Integromat URL, and you could basically set it up. So let's say someone opts in or books a demo, and you can set up so automatic message goes to your Slack or goes to your Discord or wherever saying, hey, new appointment, new this, new that. All right, so that's one way that you could do it. There's a bunch of different ways, but if you're familiar with Zapier or Integromat, you could literally connect pretty much any app almost. So you can do different things, basically using no code to integrate the APIs. All right, so if that confuses you, don't worry. We're going to cover some of the more little tech stuff like that later on. If you have any questions about that stuff, feel free to ask on our coaching calls. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it. A high level overview for workflows. All right, I hope that answered a lot of your questions. Make sure to always publish things once they're ready to go and then save it. Make sure, don't forget to save your stuff, or else you can lose a bunch of stuff after, you know, doing all this work on the workflows and whatever. But I suggest play around with these, right? Play around with the workflows, build little things, look at the workflows we provide you and see how they're built. That's one way you're going to learn a lot too, just seeing how a workflow is built, a demo booking workflow, a demo completed not closed workflow, a so proper sequence workflow, a sign field sequence workflow. These sort of things, just check them out, and you'll be able to get a good understanding of how things are put together. And then you can innovate, improve, and just build your own workflows. All right. So I encourage you to rewatch this video, watch any other workflow videos throughout this training, and become a workflow master. All right, guys. So get going on these workflows. And of course, guys, keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, accelerate your stride. Take care.